Today's video is all about cooking. As you can see, I have dirty dishes in the sink. That's because I cook a lot. Kitchens are gonna get used. Kitchens are gonna get dirty. I don't know of anybody's kitchen that is super pristine. I cook all day throughout the day. This is just from today. This is from breakfast, from lunch, and then it's gonna be from dinner here in a little bit. This is feeding 3 people during the day and then 4 people at night. Of course, I have my eggs up there for my chickens and then my freeze-dried trays. But cooking is a survival skill. Why? Because you have to learn to feed yourself. In our modern society, it's one of those things in which it's like, I can just go to a restaurant and buy food. But in this day and age, in 2023 and beyond, inflation is so crazy that not even fast food is cheap. I mean, Taco Bell is like barely the cheapest thing these days. Like, we've had to really get creative with not only what we buy at the grocery store, but how we are using those ingredients to our advantage. So let's get started. Hey everyone, Morgan here. So let's say that you have a base. And what I consider a base is like this. Let's say you have a can of salmon, okay? Now, we're going to use our resources wisely in one of 2 ways. One, we are going to go to one of our various cookbooks. I have many cookbooks, and many of them are very, very good. And some of them are just variety of things. Like I have one just for pasta, and I have one that's more of like a prepper cookbook kind of thing. But this is a good book. It's how to cook everything. It has a variety of ideas and how to cook from scratch. So 1, I can go to a cookbook, or 2, I can go to the internets. Okay, and I'm going to do a screenshot here of what I found from canned chicken. As you can see, there's an abundance of information. So I have my base, the canned chicken, or I'm sorry, the canned salmon. So I'm going to say ideas on dinner ideas for canned salmon. And one of my favorite ones is salmon patties. This is a super easy recipe. It uses breadcrumbs, canned salmon, a little bit of oil. You can put other spices and an egg or 2, depending on how much you're making. This is such an easy recipe. And then from there, I can do a vegetable, some rice, I could do some pasta, I can do a variety of other things. It gives you ideas. What this is doing is it's expanding your mind to say, you know what? This is what I could do with this. And it's giving you a bunch of other ideas for the future as well. This is how you are going to train your brain to think of how to cook with a variety of different foods. Sometimes it's super simple that I just want to make like a box mac and cheese for lunch, okay? Like, it doesn't always have to be complicated. And I think that's where people really get astray, okay? Like, I'm gonna be real with you. I like beans and rice. This is black beans that I cook in our Instant Pot once a week. I cook about 2 pounds of black beans for us because we do eat it. We eat a lot of it. We have it as a side, we have it as a main. I'll eat it as for lunches, dinners, sometimes for breakfast. I love black beans, the whole family does. We also do refried beans and other types of beans. So I am a rice and beans girl, but not all the time, okay? Just because I might have it a few times a week doesn't mean I'm having it every single day. The most important thing is to understand what your family eats. Will they eat canned salmon, or will they only eat fresh salmon? Will they eat canned chicken, like if you make it in like a chicken patty or something like that? I've made it even like little chicken nuggets out of canned chicken. Like, what are they going to eat? I use canned and frozen vegetables quite often. We use canned and frozen fruit quite often. We use these things at our disposal a lot, and we can spice it up a little. I will take a canned vegetable, drain all the liquid, put it in a pot, put a little bit of butter, a little bit of salt, and that's like it. Okay, you can mix the salt, and you could just do like garlic or paprika, or like, mix it up with spices. You gotta stock your spices, okay? I go nuts on bulk onion and garlic because that's what I get. I like bulk oregano, but this is just what I had at the time, but I could get at the time rather. But I like as much bulk as I can because I go through it and I like to always have it in stock. And when I say in stock, I mean in stock in my home. I stock all kinds of things like bulk flour and bulk sugar and bulk salt and all these things so that I can make anything at any time. And we can also understand that when we go through these recipes and we can say, you know what, this is calling for, a bunch of vegetables and spices that I don't have. Can I mix this stuff without it completely changing the recipe or how it's going to come out. Bean patties are also a really good one. Take black beans, mush it together, use basically the same process with the breadcrumbs and some spices and egg, and mash it all together and make a bean burger salad, right? Get creative with what you have, what you can get, and then what your family is going to eat. And like I said, swinging it back around, start with something. Ground beef, pork, chicken, whatever it is, start with your base. Go onto the internets or to a cookbook, whatever is easier for you, and then search and make it delicious and nutritious. And again, you don't have to be complicated, but this is where cooking comes in, where your actual cooking skills come into play. Because then when it comes to a super survival or emergency or disaster situation, you can go to your canned foods and say, you know what, I'm going to recreate this recipe or this meal or something using canned goods. And you will know exactly how to do it and when and why and all the ingredients needed, because you've, one, stocked up, two, you know exactly what to do and how to change recipes and meals and things like that, because you have the experience with cooking. Cooking is a survival skill. What have you been cooking lately? How have you been getting creative in the kitchen? I really want to hear. Put your comments down below. This is a survival series. Please go check out the rest in the playlist. Thank y'all so much for watching. Conquer Tomorrow by Preparing Today. Bye-bye. And listen, there's no shame in just opening up a can, grabbing a fork, and digging in, okay? You can eat it straight from the can. Anything canned. Cheers.